is your voiceover. Do you guys have time for character development, or is it just pretty much spur of the moment?
Well, if it's an audition, they'll have a page that'll have a brief like synopsis or a description or basically their history, what their place is in the story. Because most of the time we won't know anything about the story unless we have time to go online, like Wikipedia or something, and try and get like a brief description. If we're just being called in for a part, like a 1-episode part or something that's got like a 3-episode arc, the director normally will be pretty good at explaining where he fits in, what the character wants, what he's all about. And you kind of, I think you kind of troubleshoot it in like the first 5 or 10 minutes. You'll try out different voices, different sounds, bounce ideas back and forth, and then you come to some kind of a, creation.
Yeah, it's a combination of like what the director has in mind and ideas that you may bring to the table. So it's kind of like, it's kind of a joint effort coming up with a character and like what he should be like. And since we work on so many different things, it would be virtually impossible to be up on everything. And so we go in and we rely a great deal on the director to tell us, okay, here's what's going on, here's where your character is, this is kind of the feeling of this point in the story, and then you go. And if you, and one good thing about, Travis is a gifted voice actor, Laura, and those of us that have done this for a long time is, one of the skills that it's good to have as a voice actor is to be able to look at something and immediately know what the emotion needs to be. To know, to read a quick little scene and to know exactly what you want to do with your lines. And it saves time for the studio, and they love that, because time is money. But that's something that's a skill involved in voice acting. Is to know instinctively how the line, would be best delivered. How loud or soft, or how, what emotion is needed and how much of that emotion, and be able to rock through it, Let's see, is it my turn? Who is that?
I'm psychic and I'm hearing voices.
Where a director was bad at that?
Yeah, well, like not necessarily the director, but it's like the staff, the kind of people that you were working with.
Well, I worked with it. You know what? I will tell you a quick story about it. Do you guys remember a show called Sayuki? You guys know Sayuki? Well, I played this character named Kugaji, right? We had already done 30 or 40 episodes. We know our characters by now, right? So we're in there doing our thing. And we walked in one day, I came in to record it, and there was a new director. And I was like, oh, who's this? And he introduces himself, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be taking over. And so we start recording, and suddenly he's like giving me direction. Like I would do my line, and he would go, yeah, good. Now try it louder. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that, but that's not the character. You know what I'm saying? He had no clue about the show. He didn't know anything about the show or the characters, and he was trying to kind of validate himself as the director. Like, well, what does the director do? He tells the actors what to do. So he was just making up stuff to tell us to do that had nothing to do with the characters. We knew the characters pretty well, so that was kind of an interesting kind of story.
Yeah, I had a director once that was like, I don't really know what we're doing here.